Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Eugene Honrath with Shadow Warriors. I've got Meet the Maker interview. I've got Rob Bentley from Bentley Sheaths and Leather. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, 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 good. Thank you for joining us and doing the interview. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about you, where you're at, your company name, the products that you create, and a little bit of background.
Sure. Well, as you said, my name's Rob Bentley. I started Bentley Sheaths and Leather. You know what I want to say? Just 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Um, I started doing things for myself, primarily kydex. I've got a lot of buddies that make knives, and I'm a knife thrower. I'm a member of the International Knife Throwers Hall. I've got a lot of buddies that make throwing knives and whatnot, and I wanted something, a bunch of them on my hip, so I made a quiver. Some pretty poor kydexes. Pretty bad attempts at those, but I got better over time, and people started asking me if I could do them for them, and they started getting better, and people said, "Oh, well, you should do this for sale." And I noticed that uh, there was nothing like that out there. So I started doing that. Then I started getting a lot of requests for leather, which is completely different from kydex.
Yeah.
So I actually had a good friend that took a chance on me. He wanted something made of leather, and he said, if I know you're an artist. I have been an artist in a lot of things. My background is music, a lot of different artsy things. So he knew that I was capable of doing it if I put my mind to it, and I did, and I made him something, and he helped me get started essentially, and it just took off from there. Actually, I started making things for myself, my friends, putting the occasional thing up for sale in the knife throwing community, and I can't really say how I started on regular knives, but I did start getting requests for traditional sheaths, and leather work is really just something that you can't learn it without experience. You can't learn it without getting your hands dirty and falling flat on your face and getting back up and starting over and
I
learning
think it's
something along the way.
I think it's wizardry. I think it's magic. I think you guys are wizards, and it's some kind of magic that you guys actually have. That you're not actually
Thank you.
creating anything by hand. You're just like putting magic spells together.
I wish it was that easy, but it's not.
So,
Uh,
so how long ago did you start?
uh, Leather, I started just about a little over 2 years ago.
Okay, so you do kydex and leather now, or what do you do a majority of now, percentage wise?
Well, yeah, I do leather.
Okay.
The only kydex I really do now, every so often I'll do a kydex, like a straight kydex for something, but I'm really, I've really grown to like the leather. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. I like the way it works. Kydex has its place. I like kydex for gun holsters, but when it comes to knives, I've really just kind of grown away from it. The only thing I use kydex for is for my hybrid sheaths. It's a leather sheath with a removable kydex insert. For people that actually use their knives and need something they could take out and clean. That's really important. If you want to keep your knife in good shape, you want to be able to clean the inside of your sheath, because any particulate, any kind of dirt or matter that gets in the sheath, every time you insert the knife, you're risking scratching up your blade. So there's a guy overseas making hybrid sheaths,
Okay.
and he was stiffing a lot of people. A lot of people were out money, knives, time. This guy got a hold of me. He had been waiting for like 3 years, which is ridiculous for anything, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So he said, "Can you make one of these?" So I did my research. I mean, I'm not real big on doing things other people do that are that are their ideas.
Yeah.
But a lot of people make hybrids, so I didn't feel bad doing it myself.
Gotcha.
And I ended up stepping up and learning how to do that, and coming up with my own little tricks to get those done right.
Nice.
And so those have been probably my most popular knife sheath is the hybrid sheaths, and
Okay.
I like them.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, they definitely have their place. So tell
Right.
me a little bit about your company and who is involved. Is it just you? And where do you want to go with the company?
Well, it's my wife and I. Originally it started just me.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of just the leather crafting and whatnot. And my wife is also an artist, and she can do anything with. She's so creative, so artistic, and I basically went and I had gotten a lot of requests. A lot of people said, "Do you do leather tooling? Do you do art on your leather?"
Yep.
And I'm like, "No, I don't." So they go elsewhere. And one day I just said, "You know what? I bet Ashley would be really good at this." So I went and bought all the tools for her, and I sat them down and I said, "Babe, I want you to get good at this." And she said, "Okay." So I'm trying to remember what she did. I think she tooled like an octopus or something like that, and it was good.
Yeah.
And she's only been doing this for maybe a year, and I have guys that have been doing it for 40 years message me and say she has some of the best tooling ability that they've ever seen, and it comes natural to her. So
Nice.
it's been I've been blessed to have her, just be such a natural at it and add a nice, flavor to the, to our products.
So
And
so the tooling by nature is custom because you're not really putting out standard designs and that kind of stuff. Is that true?
I'm sorry, say the last part.
So is that true in the sense of the tooling is custom by nature?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll have people say, "Oh, they'll send me a picture and they'll say, "Can you put this on a wallet or something like that?" And then, yes, she can do that. Other times she'll draw something up and put it to the leather. It's, but yes, it is all custom.
So in terms of your leather work that you do overall, you do a lot of custom stuff. Do you do a lot of custom stuff? They may be a wallet that has another compartment or variations of stuff that you do. But do you do a lot of one-off things? Like I saw you were working on a messenger bag. And what are some of the other things you've done one-offs?
Well, a lot of oftentimes when you see a one-off from me, that's me trying to come. See, eventually, to go back to one of the first questions you asked that I didn't answer. What do I want to do?
Yeah.
I'd like to establish a set product line and limit my custom things to the artwork that goes on my product. Like let's say I come up with a wallet. I want to also be able to add a patch with whatever picture they want on it, or this, that, and the other. But the wallet itself would remain the same. So I would have several different wallet offerings, and if they want art, then that's extra, and they can send me a file with the picture they want, or they could just tell me what they'd like on it, and we could create that. But a lot of the one-offs that you see me do, as far as like a wallet that's different from everything else that I've done, that's pretty much me trying to establish my product line.
Okay.
Trying to come up with something that either hasn't been done, which is so hard to do, or maybe something you don't really see as often. I'm just trying to pretty much to find that. And I want to say that I have found pretty much what I would like to offer at one point. But I would like to establish a product line and limit my custom orders to the artwork that goes on them.
Okay.
And knife sheaths.
Okay. So what's the craziest request that you've received?
What did I know you're going to ask me?
Go on. You gotta have something, because and this is why I ask this, because I know people in their brain think that anything is possible, which it kind of is, but sometimes they don't grasp reality and they're in another land.
Well, yeah, that's where customer service comes in, though, too. They might say something like, oh man, you name it, I've probably heard it, man.
Yeah.
Which, it's understandable, because like you said, people think anything is possible, and oftentimes it is.
Yeah.
But it's also my job to explain to them, look, this might not work for your application, or I can't.
What's the craziest request you've received?
I can't make a wallet with 20 pockets that's under a 1/4 inch thick. It's not possible.
Gotcha.
Things like that, I get it every day.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But my absolute craziest. Oh man, I get. This doesn't really sound crazy, I bet, but I get a lot of people wanting kydex for the most funky knives. And kydex can be really hard for knives like a recurve, where you have to leave the spine open to pull it out the side and whatnot. Yeah. But they don't want that. They want it to come straight out. They also want a knife. They want a kydex that fits 10 different knives. They want one kydex. That's probably the craziest one I've had. Okay. They want a kydex that they could put any knife into, and they want left and right hand draw. Oh, things like that. It happens.
So the MacGyver of sheaths, is that?
Yeah.
The Swiss Army sheath. All right. Well,
I've done a hybrid before, though, that it's a leather sheath with a removable kydex.
Gotcha.
They wanted one that you could take the kydex out and put another kydex in that takes a different knife. Now, I did it, but I don't think I'm going to do it again, because I'm essentially making each kydex to fit that leather. I don't know. It's hard. From my side, it's very hard to do.
Okay,
so.
But I like that one. That one's probably the most creative one I've heard. I can imagine that, but I think that's probably one of the best ones I've heard. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you do custom work. So tell me a little bit about how your pricing works. Do you go with set pricing, or do you price each and individual piece?
Well, again, this kind of goes with if it's a one-off or something that I've never done before, I have no choice but to price it, according to knife length, carry options, if they want texture or whatever on the sheath, if they want it all hand stitched or they want eyelets, do they want snaps on the straps and whatnot. But for the most part, what I would consider like a basic hybrid sheath, which would be either a horizontal or a vertical carry. I normally start things at a base price. Like, let's say the guy has a 6-inch blade, he wants a hybrid sheath. Then I tell him, okay, You know, for a knife that length for a horizontal carry, it'll start at 120.
Okay.
If you want if you want vertical carry, like a removable dangler system, that's this much extra, or
Okay.
you know what I mean. So I pretty much go by the blade length and the carry options, and then if they want extra doohickeys or whatever on there, that's extra. So
What's the most expensive piece that you've ever made? If you want to share
I
that.
did, yeah, I've done a. Somebody sent me a gladius sword, and it's the sword that the Spartans had.
Okay.
The double-edged blade. I want to say it was about, I don't know how long it was, but they basically sent me the sword and said, money's not an object. I want you to do whatever you think looks cool. I would like artwork. I want it fully tooled. I want the whole works. And not only was I really happy to hear that, but that's the perfect kind of customer for somebody like us, because we really got the chance to shine on that and show what is possible, and use our creativity. And that's something that, again, we're blessed to be doing what we're doing, because it's fun. It's a challenge, yet we love what we do, and everything's different. So that was fun. We did a lot. Ashley did we looked up some ancient Spartan artwork.
Okay.
And she tooled it, and I put the sheath together, and we added some more texture on it. Had a over-the-shoulder rig for it and everything, and it turned out really cool. It turned a lot of heads, and we got a lot of questions about it, and people liked it. So
awesome. Well, yeah.
And the guy was happy. That's what's most important.
Absolutely, so. Yeah, and then you get to really flex your muscle on something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell me about where can people find you and your products, and tell me a little bit about the social media that you're involved in, and then we'll do a quick recap of your company and the goods you sell.
Yeah, sure. Right now, the best place to reach me is either, of course, Facebook, Instagram, and I would say my website, but I'm about to have it revamped. My website was created when I was doing primarily knife sheaths, and then I started doing more things like wallets and whatnot. And I said, I'm going to wait till I have my product line and everything, so I can put up pictures and have an ordering option and this, that, and the other. So I haven't been giving out my website as often. They can go there, but it won't be much help.
Okay.
And then I can also be reached by email always. It's robskydex@gmail.com, my old email address, robskydx@gmail.com.
Okay.
And then my phone number is also listed on my Facebook, but I always give that out too. People can call me anytime. It's 765-586-7762. I'd be happy to talk to anybody about their custom order, what might work for them, what they're looking for. But I am on those two sites, Instagram and Facebook primarily. I do some work for people here. I live right by the Army base here, right on the border of Kentucky, Fort Campbell.
Okay.
So if somebody's in town or nearby, or they're willing to make the trip here, I'd be happy to welcome them here, and we can talk about what they need. So
that's awesome. Okay, cool. So give me a little quick recap of your company name, and then what you guys provide, and we'll provide all those social media links in the description under the video.
Sure. Bentley Sheaths and Leather. We do custom knife sheaths. We do leather. We do leather and kydex hybrids. We do wallets, field notes, soon to be bags, messenger bags. pretty much anything made out of leather, we'll do. My wife is one of the best custom picture detail leather toolers I've ever seen. And I might be biased, but she is very good, and
Nice.
she's been a great addition to our work. I use some of the best quality leathers out there.
Okay.
I hand stitch everything. It takes a long time, but that's I think that's the best way to get a durable product that is heirloom quality.
Yep.
We'll never send something out if we wouldn't be happy with it ourselves. Whether it takes extra time, and I have to tell the customer that,
Yep.
and be straight up with them. I refuse to put out anything that I wouldn't be happy to own myself.
Awesome.
So,
Okay, cool, man. Hey, thank you so much for participating in Shadow Warriors Meet the Maker, and we look forward to working with you moving forward. Thank you so much, Rob.
thanks a lot, Eugene. And I want to say I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I think it's awesome that you guys are getting us out there and doing what you can to help us small businesses out. Things like this are invaluable to us, and I know that I greatly appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night, man.
You too.